Jeremiah 10 verse 12. This is the KJV. He made the earth by his power. He have established the world by his wisdom, and have stretched out the heavens by his discretion. Jeremiah 10 verse 13. When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures. Jeremiah 10 verse 14. Every man is brutish in his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image, for his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. And now you see this AI raising in great speed. Okay? They have vanity in the work of errors. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. This is Jeremiah 10 verse 15, the NIV. They are worthless, the objects of mockery. When their judgment comes, they will perish. This is Jeremiah 10 verse 16. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. This is the same verse in Jeremiah 10 verse 16 in NIV. He is the portion of Jacob. No, he who is the portion of Jacob is not like these. For he is the maker of all things, including Israel, the people of his inheritance. The Lord Almighty is his name. Okay? This is it in the NLT. But the God of Israel is no idol. He is the creator of everything that exists, including Israel, his own possession. The Lord of heaven's armies is his name. The point that I'm making is that Jacob is the first in all things. Okay? All these different things. Like the story I'm getting ready to show you is a beautiful story. It's a great story. We know a lot of Jacob ideas are hidden, but we know that Jacob was responsible because he's the first of all these creations. Okay? Everything come from us. Everything of importance. All right? For the most part. Jake had his hand in it. All right? So I'm going to show you this story. This is fair use. We're going to go and get into this. And we're going to show you some other things in the Bible that they just won't tell you. And like I said, it's a good story. You got to hear it for yourself. So let's go and get into this. Barakathai Hawa. Barakathai Hawashah. Barakathai Hawa. Barakathai Hawashah. Barakathai Hawa. Barakathai Hawashah. Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Bashim Rakahakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Shalom and salutations to those that teach the likewise doctrine. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwab. Shalom to the scattered Israelites across the four corners of the planet. Look into this word former, because I know somebody gonna come on my page, a scoffer, and they not gonna know anything, and they gonna spew their madness all out their damn face. Okay? This is the AI overview, but we're gonna get in the blue letter too. Alright, former in Hebrew generally means first, previous, or of old time, with the most common word being Rashon. We're not gonna go with that. Okay? We're gonna get it out of the blue letter. And in terms of former things, referring to the past, it implies things that came before or existed previously. And what did King Solomon say? Which is the wisest man that ever exists. And we all know that King Solomon is Yahushua reincarnated, right? Let's get it. And this is in the Strong's. This refers to things, times, or states that came before, holding primary significance in contrast to present and future actions. You see? So when we keep telling you that Jake is literally responsible for majority of things that you're seeing, Jake did it first. Okay? Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9. The thing that hath been It is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It have been already of old time, which was before us. Call her law Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. So we're going to listen to this Jake story. It's a beautiful story, but we know how, they tried to cover it up, but somehow his granddaughter did some research, which was beautiful, and found it. But us Israelites, we not surprised by it. We already told you this. It come right out of the Bible, thousands of years ago. So let's go listen to this beautiful story. This is fair use. All right.
Hey, how are you?
Hi guys, how are you?
We are good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm just a pleasure to be here and so much fun to listen to you guys. This is great. It not only is it good stuff, it's interesting and fun. I love the way you present it, and I'm like, yes, okay, I'm right. I'm taking notes right here.
Thank you. So this is vitally important. So, okay, Lisa Blackwell. So, all right, some backstory. If you follow NVIDIA, you know that every year they come out with a new chip, and they name the chip after a historical figure, like one of the top scientists in the world, somebody that has contributed to artificial intelligence, somebody that, like a pioneer in this space. Last year, chip was named Blackwell. So Blackwell, before Rubin is this year. Rubin hasn't come out yet. So currently Blackwell is the most advanced chip ever created. Now, the interesting thing is that Blackwell was named after David Blackwell. David Blackwell is Lisa's grandfather.
Correct.
This is a very interesting story, and we're gonna play a visual. We're gonna play a visual to talk about it, and then But before we play the visual, can you just cue this up for us?
Sure. So you're about to see 10 minutes of what is a concept reel for the documentary that we're creating about my grandfather's story. And it really has a little bit of the sort of linchpin that everything turned around on, like when I start digging into the story and what I discovered. And you guys are getting ready to see sort of what that looks like. And again, this is the concept reel for the documentary.
Let's play it, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay.
National Medal of Science 2, David Blackwell, University of California, Berkeley.
I would like to introduce you to a very, very big GPU named after David Blackwell.
Fundamental contributions to probability theory, mathematical statistics, information theory, mathematical logic, and Blackwell games.
David Blackwell was a great amongst greats. He was a great, great, great mathematician among great mathematicians.
Blackwell was a pioneer who was ahead of his time.
Eggs at dawn, martinis at dusk, and a 5% dividend man all the way. Years later, NVIDIA named their platform Blackwell. That's when I start digging and discovered my grandfather, Professor Blackwell, architect of the mathematics behind artificial intelligence.
A lot of his ideas really caused people to rethink, how do we interpret data?
There are many, many standard tools that people use all the time that are named after David. Blackwell spaces and the Rao-Blackwell theorem.
Blackwell nowadays is known for what's called the Blackwell-Rao theorem. Sort of like saying if something happens frequently enough, you should be able to kind of predict what's going to happen next. However, there might be some bias in some of that data. That's essentially what the Blackwell-Rao theorem tells you, is that there's a way you can kind of estimate what should happen, but then minimize the bias that you would have there in the data. And this is an amazing approach to doing statistics. If Blackwell were alive today, he would certainly be the one to raise up his hand and say, look, there's bias in AI, there's bias in the training data that we're using, and we really need to think about minimizing these as more and more people use these models.
I was very clear that I was going to be a school teacher. My father had a friend who was on the school board, and before I finished high school, he already told my father that if I went to college and got a degree, he would get me a job teaching. And this was in the Depression, and it was a great relief to me and everybody else when it was clear what my future was going to be. After I got my bachelor's degree in 3 years, I decided to spend my 4th year getting a master's degree. But then at the end of my 4th year, I was encouraged to apply for a fellowship to go on for a PhD, and I did. And then, of course, my objective changed. There were perhaps 25 awards. 22 of them required teaching assistant responsibilities. 3 of them were pure fellowships. And everybody applied for both things, and the lucky 3 got the fellowships. And one of my colleagues who also applied told me that I was going to get one of the fellowships. And I said, "How do you know?" And he said, "Well, you're good enough to be supported, and they're not going to put you in front of a classroom." And he was right.
They were not going to put you in front of a classroom because?
Because I'm black.
We're gonna hold it right there, Jake. It's hey, when this come out, it's gonna be a documentary. More likely I'll do something on it when it come out. But this is an amazing story. But like I said, we're not surprised. Okay, but if you go through here, nobody said anything about Bible scripture. The only one who put Bible scripture up is me. Okay? Nobody else in here said anything about the Bible. That's how we know that a lot of our people, man, they're lost. They're lost. Okay? And that's why I'm paraphrasing, says is a lot of work, but it's few laborers. Okay? And see, now that they done took this man AI, what they doing with it now? They using it to enslave you and actually institute the MOTB. See, this is why we got to get away from Dr. E, because this is what he's ready to do. Okay? This is what he's going to do. And see, we keep telling you that this is not nothing new. But one thing somebody did put up, let me show you. Remember in the movie Terminator? When they had the black engineer and they went to his house because he had the arm? Yeah, someone caught that. And that's why they put that in there. This is like a, like a sound off to him. Okay? And see, they used the revelation of the method because look at what they actually using this technology to build destructive machines. All right? Even though more likely Jake was going to try to use it for good, but this is not our rest. Okay? Right now the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And just like with Sophia Stewart, who was the screenwriter for Terminator and the Matrix, where she said in the future you have soulless babies born in them damn vats, them pods that they say they're able to do now. I think it's $75,000 to raise your kid in a pod. I actually did something on that. This is where we at now. Okay? But we're going to show you that they've been doing this. Let me show you. This 2 Chronicles 26 verse 12. This is Berean Study Bible. The total number of family leaders of the mighty men of valor was 2,600. And shout out to the men of valor of Jersey. Call her lawyer, Bashim Yahushua. This is 2 Chronicles 26 verse 13. This is Berean Study Bible. Under their authority was an army of 300 and 7,500 trained for war, a powerful force to support the king against his enemies. Uzziah supplied the entire army with shields, spears, helmets, armors, bows, and sling stones. And in Jerusalem, he made skillfully designed devices to shoot arrows and catapult large stones from the towers and corners. So his fame spread far and wide, for he was helped tremendously so that he became powerful. And the Most High put the spirit on him. Now we're going to read in the KJV. And he made in Jerusalem engines invented by cunning men to be on the towers and upon the bulwarks to shoot arrows and great stones withal. And his name spread far abroad, for he was marvelously helped till he was strong. You see that? Jake always been inventing stuff. You see that? So this is nothing new. The Most High always put the spirit on men for them to do things. We're gonna go even further back than that. Okay, that's why we keep telling you, Jake, you the blueprint. You the form of all things. Everybody follow you. They'll steal your idea and act like they did it when you did it, because the Most High put it on your spirit for you to do it. Okay? Remember, all things are made for his pleasure. All right? Let's keep going. And look at this. This is in Exodus 31 verse 31, Exodus chapter 31 verse 1 through 6. We're going to actually get it in the Bible though, but look at this. It says Bezalel and Oholiab to build the tabernacle. Yahweh filled them with wisdom, knowledge, and skill, and gold, silver, brass, cutting stones, and carving wood to perform all manner of workmanship. You see that? It's a key individuals: Bezalel, tribe of Judah, and Aholiab, tribe of Dan. Purpose to construct the tabernacle, Ark of the Testimony, and all its furniture. In this context, cunning implies skilled, expert, artistic, or clever workmanship. So yeah, we're going to actually get it in the Bible. That's what AI is saying. We'll actually get it though. This is Exodus 31 verse 3. And I have filled him with the spirit of Yahweh, in wisdom and in understanding and in knowledge and in all manner of workmanship. You see that? This is what it says, the NIV. I have filled him with the spirit of Yahweh, with wisdom, with understanding, with knowledge, and with all kinds of skills. So, actually, I should have read verse 2 first. This is the NIV. See, I have chosen Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Ur, of the tribe of Judah. Okay? And this is when the Most High was speaking to Moses. All right, and let's say I filled him with the spirit of Yahweh, with wisdom, with understanding, with knowledge, and with all kind of skills. You see? And this is what it says in the NLT. And I filled him with the spirit of Yahweh, giving him great wisdom, ability, and expertise, and all kinds of crafts. You see? And this is it in the English Standard Version. This is why we keep telling you, Jake, you're responsible for damn near everything. Okay? And hey, when we get them new bodies and we're able to fully access our minds, we're going to be like Superman. Okay? This is where the story of Superman actually comes from, out the scriptures. Okay? And I filled them with the spirit of Yahweh, with ability and intelligence, with knowledge and all craftsmanship. You see that? And check this out, because a lot of people don't know that this is here. Let me show you. In the Bible, it was a Canaanite city, the city of Ai. Now, the Canaanites was known for their knowledge. their witchcraft. All right, a lot of different madness that they was practicing. Okay. Now it say the city of Ai in the Bible was a Canaanite city near Bethel, famous for being the site of Israel's first major defeat and subsequent victory under Joshua, a pivotal moment teaching obedience after Achan's sin. Through its archaeological identification with the major ruin, Etel is debated due to timeline discrepancies, with some scholars suggest another smaller fortified site better fits the biblical narrative of a smaller settlement. But yeah, this is why we tell you it's nothing new. It's right here in the scriptures. All right, let's see what the Canaanites was known for.
This seems like an overreaction. Ham commits the offense, but it is who the Canaanites really were. A people with a cursed origin who spread through a land that God had promised to Israel. But that was filled with dark rituals, unthinkable practices, and a religion led by gods who demanded the unimaginable. Behind the names Baal, Ashtoreth, and Moloch was a macabre spiritual system where even children were sacrificed on demonic altars. And the most shocking part, these horrible gods nearly overtook Israel. What does the Bible really reveal about the origin of these people, and why did God order their total destruction?
Now, I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's like 30 minutes long, but I do want you to see this one part.
Directly opposed biblical truth. It was a land rich in resources, but also saturated with idolatry, child sacrifice, and temple prostitution. As the descendants of Canaan multiplied, they spread throughout the region, from the Mediterranean Sea to the Jordan River, and from the Negev Desert to the northern regions of Phoenicia. Cities like Jericho, Hebron, Sidon, and Gaza became Canaanite urban centers.
Now see, I gotta find a part, but they was known to practice witchcraft. And see, a lot of their scientists, they would have to deal with this different type of demonology and stuff. And the word demon just going to intelligence. But hey, they would deal with these left-hand demons on the left-hand side. Do child sacrifice, different rituals. All right. And they was known to be really smart. Okay. But they eventually faced judgment the same way everybody else is getting ready to face judgment today. Okay. Now look at this. Canaanite ancestors of modern Lebanese people and associated with the Phoenicians were highly advanced for the Bronze Age, notably creating the first alphabet and demonstrating sophisticated, specialized, and organized industrial skills. They practiced basic observational astronomy with deities associated with celestial bodies and likely used lunar solar calendars. Alphabet creation. It says excavations have revealed 5,500-year-old workshop with advanced specialized in systematic production of flint blades, highlighting a complex economic and social structure. Astronomy. They knew a lot, okay? And look at this, even going to genetics. Okay? But yeah. Some of this, it's like because they put AI in front of everything now, it's hard to get to like the actual paperwork now. And see, this is what they're doing now. Here it is, this man, he invented AI, but now they're using AI to enslave people. First, they're trying to enslave people's minds. All right? But they was really smart. And they had a city called the City of AI. You see that? And what do these people, they practice the same thing as the ancient Canaanites. They do child sacrifice. They do a lot of the same things. You see? So yeah, it's a beautiful story. But here it is. They done took this man AI and then perverted it. And now they're going to put it in an MOTB and use it against people. You see how they do? And create a surveillance state. This is how we know this man is Esau Edom. You see? Because Jake more likely wouldn't have done it. That's why in the passage the guy said that If he was still alive, he would have let them know that AI has become biased. Why? Because AI is this man's spirit, which has the spirit of Satan on him. So we will get a few more scriptures and leave it there. Jake is a beautiful story, but hey, look at how they doing. They using this work and perverting it and get ready to use it against his own brothers and sisters, which are the Israelites, according to the Bible. You see that? And another thing, it say advanced metallurgy and industry. Now you need to know metallurgy to make a lot of these chips and stuff. Okay, to shrink them down and stuff like that. You see? So yeah, man, we're gonna get some scriptures. We're gonna leave it there. 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 7, for the mystery of iniquity do already work. Only he who now letteth will let until it have been taken out of the way. And the Most High is going to take this man out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose working is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. And a lot of time, all this AI do now is just lie. It's lying and creating confusion. You see, whereas though this brother, Dr. Blackwell, he was using to do a beautiful thing. He had a beautiful family. Okay. But here it is now, they done took it and perverted like they do everything. Everything they touch, they destroyed. You see that?
So applied, told me, and everybody applied for both things, and the lucky 3 got the fellowships. And one of my colleagues who also applied told me that I was going to get one of the fellowships. And I said, how do you know? And he said, well, you're good enough to be supported, and they're not going to put you in front of a classroom. And he was right.
They were not going to put you in front of a classroom because?
Because I'm black.
You see that? Because he black. And another thing, they also been caught allegedly using Jake's melanin in these supercomputers. Remember Jake's did stories on that. And when you look it up, it actually says it. Let me show you. Then we're going to close it out. This is in you Jake's melanin. Listen to this. Researching the melanin-based computing focuses, because this is from melanin-based supercomputers. They say on utilizing the unique pigmentary micromolecule found in human skin, hair, and throughout the biosphere as a functional material for biofriendly organic electronics. And you think they ain't gonna put the MOTB in people? Of course they is, because melanin is a natural amorphous organic semiconductor with properties to allow to conduct electricity, act as a supercapacitor, and interact with ion-based electronics that is being explored for future computing and bioplannable devices. Yeah, see you Jakes, you the Most High's robot, his quantum computer, okay? Except he gave you life. So stay prayed up, Jake. I see you again real soon. Call Allah, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah. But remember, this is nothing new. Everything is under the sun, has been done, and is going to be done. And you, Jakes, you the first of all things. We keep telling you, okay? But I know it's going to go on one ear and out the other. So I'm going to let the doctor finish it out. But I'll see you again real soon, Jake. Shalom.